I think that Miss Parker is saying some good stuff right here. She says, get out of this sexual pleasure revolution. I agree.
Please.
Mhm.
And his words must match. His action and words must match. They must match.
Mhm.
Absolutely. We love
That's
you,
an
Miss
intentional
Parker.
and disciplined
Parker.
man.
Hey, Miss Parker.
Hey, girl.
Yes. Dr. Steele, did you have anything that you want to say? Thank you for being ever so patient.
Yeah, thank you. I actually have a couple of questions to ask you. The first question, and this is the way I truly look at it. I just want to get your feedback on it. Let's say a man comes home, he's feeling down, depressed. He and his wife sit down. He's listening to his wife. The wife, makes him feel better, and um, I would call this a part of nurturing, which is part of submission.
Mhm.
And then, but let's say the woman feels down. They sit down. The man listens, and he makes her feel better. That's leadership. What do you think of that statement?
That's companionship.
I think that's partnership.
That's
Yeah,
that's perfect.
yeah.
Actually, what would be the alternative? Like, is there an alternative to that? Like, is that?
I did say I said both of the alternatives. When the woman makes the man feel better, that's nurturing, which is part of submission.
Oh,
And
okay,
when,
that part.
and
Okay.
when the man makes her feel better, that's leadership.
Well, I
No,
guess
oh,
I
I
guess the
get you. I get what
question
you're saying.
is, how is that any different if the actions are exactly the same?
That's why he says double standard.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's sort of
From
a
a
double
double
standard,
standard perspective. Okay.
which basically leads into my second question.
Hmm.
Does the reason why there are so many double standards, uh, is that related to why God create men and women differently?
Yin and yang. We're supposed to be different. We're supposed to be different. It's a balance. Even though there's double standard, it's gonna balance out.
But
There's
double standards are man-made. I think God,
oh,
no,
here we go
they,
with Tara.
no, they are. Though they are. So what I'm saying is the double standards come in with whoever's in power. Whoever's in power are going to make, rules that's going to benefit them. And that's why I say when you go by something that's right, it's not going to change.
Hmm.
But
You
let me ask
understand
you a
what I'm
question.
saying?
I see
No,
that because
I
where did double standards come
no,
from?
I agree with what Mistaken is saying, but you have to admit that women are just not like men and vice versa. And there's a yin
Agreed.
and yang, there's a balance. We're very different. What our bodies can take, theirs the same. How they, we're just different. And it's
Hmm.
okay, but it all balances out.
I
Hmm.
think the sooner we come to grips with that, the better off we'll be. Instead of we unfortunately live in a world where the double standards aren't going anywhere.
Correct.
They
And
aren't.
I also see too, like what Shan is saying, and two is that, yeah, I do think of yin and yang. The whole purpose of a yin and yang, like, you fit together and make a full picture, right? It's two halves of a puzzle. You put it together, it creates the full picture. But I think where we go wrong is that we start judging the differences and looking at it as more as one difference is superior and the other one is, lower. And I think, and I've said this before, and people don't agree, but I could care less about that, is that differences does not have to mean unequal, right? One is going to benefit the other. So if like, you can't have a baby without having a man's sperm. It doesn't mean because he's able to have, because he has sperm and I have the egg, that I'm weaker. You know what I'm saying? Or he's strong. Like, it just balances out. It doesn't make one better over the other. And I think that's where we go wrong, is the superiority complex that I think a lot of men have. That's why they want this whole submission idea, like, just do whatever I say. Like, they're looking at it in the wrong way.
But the double standards we talk about today, I didn't think that they were necessarily a person over another person. Did you? Like, I'm just talking about the ones we talked about today. I can't think of one that was like, oh, he's superior.
Well, I would think like body count is kind of like that, where it's like it's okay for a man to have sex with this amount of women and they're glorified for doing that, where, you know, that is, you know, when it comes to like, you know, men and their manhood, like, oh, how many women have you slept with? You know, like there's like this kind of like superiority complex for men that are sleeping with a lot of women, where on the other hand, women, they are less desirable when, you know, they are thought to even have slept with a lot of men. Like, you know, girls are shamed for like being promiscuous or being fast, or, you know, she may not have even slept with a man. And if it gets around that maybe she could have, it's like the world is ended for her. So I think in that sense, you know.
But then they kind of like go against like the makeup of a woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, women will even tell you not every woman even has an orgasm every time she has sex. Like, maybe it's made that way for a reason. Because imagine if everybody was out here just these puppies just going. I mean, it would just be
That's
like
what
a
they're
sex
doing. That's exactly what they're doing. We're focused on the pleasure. And I don't mean just in sex. I mean just in life in general. And I think that's why we're in the situations that we're in now, is because everyone is focused on their individual pleasure, what their individuality, what they want to do. Can't nobody tell me nothing, without thinking about the consequences and impact that it has on other people. And I used to say that to my son all the time. When you do stuff, the consequences may not only affect you, it can affect others too. So you have to be cognizant of those things. But I think in this society, we're so hyper focused on being individuals that we don't understand the connection. Like we're made to, you
The
know,
interdependency.
right. We're communal people, you know what I'm saying? But we just focus so much on our own pleasure, our own needs, our own me, that we don't know how to be in relationship anymore.
Well, I think that, I mean, it's definitely a skill that's taught, just like being independent is a skill that's taught. I forget what book I was reading, but it's a hierarchy where you start from the stage of dependency to independent. And most people think that once you reach independence, like you've achieved it all. But most people are not taught that there is a third stage, and that is interdependent. And
Yeah.
so learning, you know, how to coexist with other people. So you see that some of the best leaders, you know, some of the best bosses, probably your favorite boss or something like that, like they have really, really great interdependent skills. And so it's a skill set that is taught. Unfortunately, not widespread enough just yet. Let's say that.